Good evening. First up, Bristol is meant to be a liberal and diverse city. So why are more and more gay people telling us that they're living in fear? Well, get ready for some shocking language in Harriet Robinson's investigation into gay hate crime.
I couldn't repeat the worst things I've ever been called.
I've been called faggot.
A child of the devil.
I get called a dyke quite a lot.
Pervert, paedophile.
An adopted gay little and that I should burn in hell.
Bristol Pride is a massive celebration and people are having a great time. But clearly everything's not rosy for gay people. I'm working out how bad it is.
I'm just looking through some of the news reports from the past 12 months or so, and there are LGBT hate crimes reported all over the West Country. I've seen them in Watchet, in Somerset, in Cheltenham, in Gloucestershire, all over Bristol as well. There's just so many, I'm shocked.
It seems like hate crimes against gay people are on the up. I'll be finding out what the police figures tell us. But first, let's start with the basics, with Joanna Jenkins, who supports victims.
Joanna, what actually constitutes an LGBT hate crime?
Right, I'll keep it simple, Harriet. Anything that is a direct slur against your orientation or your gender, i.e. a verbal assault, a physical assault, that is hate crime. If somebody says something derogatory to you, that is hate crime. And this is where people need to be reporting straight away.
And one of those people is Madeline from South Bristol. Her son's being targeted.
Wow, OK, so this must be the window that the brick came through.
Yeah.
And I assume this is the brick, which is really heavy.
It is. My husband had his feet on the coffee table.
Really?
He was covered in glass.
Wow.
My son was sat other end of the room. There was glass all over the sofa there. It was just everywhere.
It's really scary.
It is, yeah.
The whole thing's left Madeline's son, who's in his 20s, really shaken up, and he's not able to speak to me himself. Hardly surprising when you hear what happened next.
We had the most recent letter, which is a homophobic death threat.
What was in the letter that came through?
It's horrible, really, really horrible. They had dirty and the horrible C word on the front. And inside it is basically gay boy, bum bashing, what you do is grim. There's only one place for people like you, and that's dead. So, not a very nice letter at all. You literally do not feel safe in your own home. It's not something he's dealing very well with. I watch him walk down the road, I watch him walk up the road. It's like I've gone back to when he was little and now he's in his 20s. It's hard. And I think sometimes he turns around and says, "Mum, don't worry." But Mum does worry.
That's one homophobic hate crime the police are investigating, and an arrest has been made over the letter. But what are the figures for the whole region? I've sent freedom of information requests to our local forces, and this is what they've given me. Recorded hate crimes have more than doubled over 5 years. So does Joanna think the increase is because of better reporting, or are more crimes actually happening?
These days, I have a lot more referrals. Now, whether this is because people are reporting more or if there's more, I really don't know. All I do know is that the cases that I'm working on at the moment are far more aggressive than the ones that I had 2 years ago, which is very sad. And the range of people that are being affected by the hate crime are from an 18-year-old lad to a 60-year-old man, and everything in between.
In the 2.5 years since you've been doing your job, what's shocked you the most?
Young man being attacked on the bus. He was physically attacked, not just once, but twice. The man went back to finish the job just because he presumed that he was gay. It was a hate crime, there was no question. And the effect that that had on that young man was horrendous.
This CCTV clip of the attack has never been broadcast. 18-year-old Keedis Selinger is repeatedly punched in the face by Paul Austin on a Bristol bus last October. Austin was shouting homophobic abuse as he beat Keedis, who was scared for his life. In a rare prosecution, Austin was jailed for 18 weeks. With brutal assaults like this happening, it's no wonder gay people are telling me they need safe spaces. And wow, look at this one.
The sock wrestling champion has arrived. Lego.
This is Lunda Dimbalolo.
So tell me why you go sock wrestling.
So essentially, sock wrestling itself is a fun activity for anyone to participate in. However, these sock wrestling events that are organised are spaces for people of the LGBTQ++ community to be involved in and express themselves. To find a space where you can do that with other people who identify in the same way that you do, it is important because we don't have many of those spaces within our society.
This looks like fun. I'm having a go.
To be in a space like this where everyone is like-minded, you just feel safer and freer to express yourself. And then doing something as childish as pulling off each other's socks, it just works out perfect.
I'm off to another safe space, and it's on a blustery old night.
A lot of work goes into this.
The Fringe.
Yeah.
I know how you feel. I'm meeting Ollie Cook, the midfield maestro with a temperamental fringe, and defensive linchpin, Pete Davey.
Bristol City Panthers is needed because there are people who do not feel safe in going along to their local football team. They'll be scared, they'll be excluded.
When I was holding my partner's hand in public a few weeks ago, someone spat on the floor in front of me and told me I was a dirty little queer, so there's still a lot that needs to change. It's like people still need to be educated.
Bristol is a progressive city in large parts, but we can't ignore the fact that people like myself, when I've been out on nights out with a partner, at the end of the night out have been spat at. Just because there's some gay bars on Frogmore Street and a successful Pride, that all parts of the LGBT community feel safe or welcome, because that certainly isn't the case.
I'm left thinking, just why is there so much hate around for gay people? So I'm back to talk it through with LGBT Bristol's Joanna Jenkins.
I think it runs an awful lot deeper than just having a problem with somebody because they're LGBT. I think it runs deep within them. They need to reassess their behaviour and they need to be educated and maybe perhaps get a little bit of support and counselling around their own thoughts. I hate bullies for whatever reason. I just absolutely hate seeing their confidence, their self-worth being affected by somebody else's narrow-minded behaviour.
So is the future of your service secure?
No, definitely not. There is nobody else that does the LGBT hate crime and discrimination support in Bristol. It's down to us, it's down to me.
That's awful.
Yeah, it is awful.
So reports of hate crime against gay people are on the rise. I found there's a growing need for safe spaces. And Joanna's support service for victims is at risk. It could even close. I wonder whether enough is being done to allow everyone to live without fear.
Harriet Robinson reporting there. So what do you make of that? I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, or you can email me direct.